you're watching on YouTube, would you believe? And alongside me, Hendo, we have Atif Nawaz, Katie Walker, and Nigel Walker the Bear, all sitting in splendid luxury at their various penthouse apartments, whereas I'm stuck in my horrible little cave with an Airtex ceiling. I apologise for that, but you have to put up with that.
Can I say I'm the only one in the Royal Borough, folks?
Well,
You're the only one in the Royal Borough. Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. Well, let's get on. Let's talk about this Pakistan-England series, which is going to begin on Tuesday morning, bright and early on Tuesday morning, 7 o'clock if you're in the UK, and obviously at different times around the world. We've had a lot of exciting cricket during the summer. It was breathless in many ways, wasn't it, Atif? But I guess this is going to be a very different kind of series, isn't it?
Yeah, this is going to be a different kind of challenge for England because, I mean, let's not forget just the psychology of having a 3-0 whitewash over their heads. Now, I guess you could make that parallel. You know, Australia had that psychology of a 5-0 whitewash over England, but then that was in a different venue. Right now, England are going to Pakistan's house, which is the UAE, where they have an incredible record. They've got a good team in good form. They've just had like an easy-ish series against Zimbabwe. They did lose one match, but generally they dominated. So they're coming into it very, very strong. Pakistan have to be overwhelming favourites.
I guess that's true, and if you look at their recent record in the UAE, they had a 2-0 win over Australia, a 1-1 draw from 3 tests against New Zealand, but they also come off the back of an incredible series in Sri Lanka where they won 2-1 with that amazing final game where I think they were chasing 370 odd to win and got it for what, 3 down or 4 down was it? Bear, how do you see this series unwinding?
Well, I think it's going to be troublesome for England, but then again, with no Ajmal, I think it'll be easier for us.
Tell me about that. Why no Ajmal?
Because he's got a bent arm and he doesn't bowl straight.
Oh, so it's not fitness, it's dodginess.
No.
I don't think he's been as effective, has he? He's had to remodel action, and so he can't do as much with his wrist, can't bowl the doosra. And
hang on, no, we need to be clear on this. Do you mean no Ajmal because he won't be any good, or because he hasn't been selected, or because he's banned, or because he's ill? I need clarification, man.
So basically, Saeed Ajmal has not been playing as well since he had his action remodeled. He's not been as effective. So now Pakistan have opted to go with Yasir Shah as their primary spinner. And they've got other kind of spinning options as well in the squad.
Yes.
So what I guess what's really going to be important for England is after this new approach that we saw back in the English summer of really positive cricket. I mean, there's got to be positive cricket, but it's got to be played with a certain amount of patience and a certain amount of skill, mentally as well as physically.
Yeah, they won't be as aggressive as obviously they were in England. I mean, I was looking at the scorecard yesterday. I mean, Moeen Ali got his 3 wickets and had a run rate against his bowling of less than 2, which is, and they scored 260 for 5, was it?
216, I think it was.
No, England scored 280.
Yeah.
Pakistan were 260 odd for 5 at the end of the playoff. That's the scorecard I saw anyway. Off 90 overs, which is a run rate of less than 3. So it's going to be an attritional series. But we saw that last year when New Zealand and Australia were over there. The run rates are generally quite slow until. Funny, when teams get on top and they've not lost a lot of wickets. I mean, we saw Misbah score the fastest ever ton in Test history out there. So it's possible to get on top and then take bowling apart, but it takes application to get there. The ball's not going to come onto the bat, especially for the fast bowlers. I don't see many bowling bounces is going to be pretty useless, except when the ball is brand new, which either means in the 90th, 80th over, or in the first 2 or 3 overs. Stokes, I'm hoping, will get reverse swing, and could be. I mean, he was getting quite prodigious reverse swing this summer, or certainly in swing.
That's right.
Against the Aussies, and it does seem to get it to go a long way. So, and he bowls at a reasonable lick as well. So if he bowls full and it's in swing, it could be quite interesting. He's obviously going to shed loads of runs, unfortunately. And we saw a lot of the side that was out there last October when we covered those 2 Test series are still playing for the Pakistan side. So I think they're going to be confident. They're going to be up for it. I don't think England need to be too scared. They've got to go in positive. I mean, we've got a pretty good side ourselves. Moeen Ali, I tweeted this out. I think in the UAE, you can be an average spinner who doesn't have particular variation, but you can get action on the ball, and the wicket's going to do a lot for you. So you can be less than excellent and take wickets in the UAE, and I think that's important for the England spinners.
So you know how I said just before we came on air that Hendo needs to change the lighting because it makes him look slightly dodgy. Bear, you need to angle your screen so you don't look quite much as though you've got a double chin. Because actually, to be fair, you look better in real life than you do right now on screen. What I would like to ask is, tell me a situation, Bear, because for those people that are watching this that don't know Nigel the Bear Walker, he is endlessly optimistic, and we love him for it. But tell me an occasion where you think England should be scared, and actually, it looks as though they're doomed. Have you ever thought that?
No. Well, I think in any sport, you have to be A, optimistic, and B, believe that your ability is good enough.
But this is about critique, Bear. It's not about critique. Attitude.
No.
Listen, man, I'm really optimistic as well. I'm really optimistic that Pakistan are going to decimate England in this series. I'm just letting you know, guys.
You can say. I mean, we did struggle last time. There were 43 OBWs in the last series. Ajmal was pushing the ball through at 65 miles an hour.
No one even knew what he was bowling. Remember?
But this is true as well. But I'd said at the time, and I remember it vividly. It's all about the pace that he was bowling the ball through. I mean, Swan and Panesar were bowling it in the high 50s. By the end, in the fourth innings of those series, I particularly remember when we bowled out for 72 or whatever it was, Ajmal was pushing that ball through and still getting action on the ball at extreme pace because the wickets are really helpful. It gives the batsman less time. Everyone was going on the back foot and getting pinged in front of the stumps. I think England need to learn something from that and maybe be a bit more aggressive. And we may lose. I mean, my prediction for the series is 1-1.
My God.
Hendo, let me put something.
You heard it here first. The Bear says we might lose. Now, if the Bear says that, I would go and put possibly your house on Pakistan. If the Bear is saying that, then things are terrible indeed in the house of the Gorilla. Let me just say, well, of course, that there's a choice they have to make, don't they? I guess we're going to see something of this tomorrow in the second of the two warm-up games. Moeen Ali up to open, or Alex Hales. Now, where, as a Pakistan supporter, who would you fear most at the top of that order?
I think they've both got aspects of them that Pakistan wouldn't necessarily want to play against. I think they've got different strengths, but they both help. Now, Moeen Ali would offer England a really good, strong spin option as well. By that I mean, if he opens the batting, he opens up that spot at the bottom for Adil Rashid. And Moeen and Rashid together, I think, have a better shot than Swan and Panesar did a couple of years ago. So, I mean, I think in that way the trade-off kind of works for England. I am a huge fan of Alex Hales, though. I love the way he plays. I think it's going to translate well to Test cricket. I can't wait for him to prove the naysayers wrong. But just sadly for him right now,
do you not think that he's a man? He's a man who likes the ball coming onto the bat. Now, he's certainly not going to get that in Abu Dhabi or Sharjah or indeed Dubai.
Where Hendo? Sorry, because another thing for those.
Yeah, no, you pick up on that. Sharjah.
Sharjah. Oh no, say Sharjah, please.
Sharjah. Have you heard of Shashar Gabor? Very, very attractive model, I think you'll find.
But here's the thing: the ball. You're right. The ball won't come onto the bat, and it'll be a proper test of Alex Hales. If you'll pardon the pun, in that environment, can he sink or can he swim? The Pakistan seam bowlers haven't been, haven't really been on it recently, so it's going to be a good chance for him to play himself into a little bit of form. I don't know. I mean, I think there's a really good case to be made for both, but because of the double resource that Moeen Ali offers, and the spot that he would open up for Adil Rashid lower on down the order, I think he makes sense in this case, and I think the two of them together could form a pretty good spin duo for England.
Yeah, Bear.
Well, there is another option, isn't it? I mean, we talk about this space at 6, really, or 5, where you could have a Hales opening. This spot that has opened up in the middle order, which we're talking about, either Bairstow or Jimmy Taylor, you could stick Moeen Ali there. He's certainly good enough to bat there, which then allows you to still keep him in the top 6, still play Rashid at 8, and still have the option of having 3 or 4 seam bowlers, and also Root as another spinner. So you've probably got you've got 3 spinners, 3 seamers, and a batting order that bats down to number 8. Me personally, on Alex Hales, a lot of people rate him. I've not seen him in long form cricket. Every time I watch him in ODI cricket, he frustrates me. His technique seems not very tight. There's too much gap between bat and pad, and he plays at stuff too far away from his pads. Now, I know it's ODI cricket, But apart from one innings in a T20, I've never seen him do anything. I've never seen him get above 20. They say he races off. In that last ODI series against the Australians at the end, he was scoring at 50 runs per 100 balls and getting no runs and then getting out.
Well, isn't this the thing about perhaps about the England, the new look England, is that as they're a new generation in one sense. They are less tight technically, but they are adventurous and they're positive and they're aggressive. Katie, how far can that go in? How far can that aggression go in helping England to deal with the conditions in the UAE?
Well, it's interesting. When you opened up this podcast and the first question that you asked to Atif, you said about the breathlessly exciting summer that we've had. I would take issue with it, and I actually think, given a few seconds to actually think about what you said, you might be a bit revisionist as well. I have to say that I found this Ashes series actually quite dull. I found that because each match basically one side capitulated pretty early on, and neither dressing rooms had a copy of Thucydides' History of the Peloponnesian War and read Book 6 to understand that Test cricket is all about stasis. It's all about being equally matched. There's someone pushing, will it go that way? Will it go that way? Will it go the other? And so in other words, I think that actually this so-called aggression, which we saw prove or reap brilliant results against New Zealand, was it that brilliant against Australia? I don't really think that we can tell because it wasn't proper Test cricket. So we're not really that sure about how effective it is in general, let alone on these pitches.
Well, I would.
But to give you a quick answer instead of going off on one about Thucydides, I think it'll be terrible. I think it's probably 2-0 to Pakistan. I just don't think that it's gonna work out there. And also, aggressive cricket definitely benefits. Excuse me, Hendo, but definitely benefits from a crowd being your 12th man, because essentially why they're doing it is to excite your spectators, and I think that's a good thing. But we all know that it's a bit like the Truman Show out there.
Yeah.
Everybody's watching, but on TV, no one's there in the ground.
Well, there'll be people there on the fourth day, won't there? The Friday morning after Friday morning prayers, and there'll be a contingent of the Barmy Army, no doubt. But I mean, you'd need a very big contingent of the Barmy Army to make themselves really become that 12th man for England, wouldn't you, Atif?
Yeah, I guess so, but I think there's a pretty good chance that for most days, England fans might actually outnumber Pakistan fans in the stadium, just because, as you say, it's not the most friendly time. I mean, in that part of the world, they don't have that culture of Test cricket where you just take the whole day off and you just go spend like 90 quid on a ticket at Lord's. I don't know how people do that, but people do it.
Sorry, Atif, how much is it?
Sorry?
How much is it out in the UAE to go to buy a ticket?
It's not particularly expensive. It's not particularly expensive. It's just the people weigh up the cost of taking a day off work and things like that. And if they were going to do that, they'd rather do that for a one-day international or T20 match. Having said that, and so are the authorities. They'd be very interested in the numbers these games pull, because the Pakistan Super League is going to be held at the same venue in Dubai and Sharjah during in February next year. So they'll be very curious to see what kind of numbers Pakistan are attracting for for a pretty big series. It's England. England is a big side. It's a pretty big series. It's quite an exciting series. They got a very good result last time. It was very exciting last time. So they should be able to pull in better numbers. I know their broadcasting rights numbers have been great, like the deals that they've secured, but the live crowd is going to be very important for them to have a good kind of case study of what they expect in the Pakistan in February.
I don't know if you saw last night's press conference or yesterday's press conference. Mark Wood, the man who thinks he's a horse, was up in front of the assembled media, and he alluded to the fact that England's spin twins were rather like Tweedledum and Tweedledee. Which of course in jingle form we will make legendary. But what other pairs? I mean, would you consider rather than Tweedledum and Tweedledee? Because Tweedledum and Tweedledee are basically the same in every aspect. But they're not the same. One's an off-spin bowler, one's a leg-spin bowler. So is there a better pair that you can think of, Katie, Atif, to describe them as, rather than Tweedledum and Tweedledee?
I mean, Broad and Anderson, obviously I know one is seam and one is swing, but they're both fast bowlers, so what about that? No, the only reason I think they're a pair is because they both did brilliantly in the last series, didn't they? I mean, everyone talks about spin over there, but seamers and swingers did quite well in, what was it, 2012?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, he did.
I think that's
pace.
Do you think, though, it might come down to the fact that the Pakistan spinners, Yasir Shah, who I've been impressed with ever since we first saw him, and I think a lot of people have been around the world, and Zulfikar Babar, which gives us another brilliant jingle, one of Katie's favourites, I know, they've got incredible experience, and I think it's like, well, they haven't got incredible experience, they've got a lot of wickets, basically. Yasir Shah, 10 tests, 61 wickets, Zulfikar Babar, 10 tests, 42 wickets. Is that going to give them, surely that's got to give them an edge over the relative inexperience of Moeen Ali and Adil Rashid?
Oh, I've just thought of a better answer.
Oh, well, go on then.
Stokes and Bairstows because they're both redheads. Okay, carry on.
Okay. Thanks, Katie.
In answer to that question, yeah. No, I mean, this is my point about the wickets being conducive to spin. I think, it'd be interesting when Pakistan come here next year how Babar and Shah do over here. I mean,
yeah, that would be fascinating. Yeah.
I mean, we saw last winter that Pakistan opened up seam bowling sometimes for only 6 overs before they turned to spin. And it'll be the same this time. So I mean, the reason they're getting lots of wickets, they're getting a hell of a lot of overs. I mean, Yasir Shah's figures are great, but what's his average? Probably mid-30s, I imagine.
No, Yasir Shah's average is 24. Babar's is 37. So Yasir Shah obviously he's not the older, but he's the greater threat in terms of wicket taker, I would say.
Leg spinner, I'd hope so. He's got variations, he's got a googly, got top.
Yeah, but I mean, you can have a leg spinner, and we've spoken about this with England before. It's the quality of your leg spinner. We've had situations. We've had Scott Borthwick, who was brought into the was it the final test of the Ashes series in Australia? Sorry,
and threw up pies.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's my point. And we've had other spinners that haven't really come up to the level required when they've been put in there and put under pressure. And it's going to be a hell of a pressure series for Adil Rashid because things will be expected of him, won't they?
It is, and we have talked about the pace that he bowls as well. And actually,
yes.
If I remember rightly, Yasir Shah is about similar pace. He's not.
I think
he's got a much quicker ball, but his average pace is in the low 50s, high 40s, which is what Adil Rashid bowls. And I remember us actually talking about it when he came on. I thought his pace wasn't going to be fast enough for a leggy out there because the wickets were so slow, but he still got action and still got wickets. So maybe Adil Rashid will be okay. I mean, reports from yesterday's match, Wood was saying he had good control, and I think control's the main point for a leg spinner. If you get control, then you've got options beyond that. As soon as you can pin someone down and not bowl too many bad balls and over, then you can create pressure. And I think Moeen Ali will bowl a lot of stock balls. He will just try and, because he knows he's going to get help off the wickets, he will just put it on the spot that he needs to put it on and try and create pressure. That seems to be what he was doing with those figures that he got. 22 overs, 3 for 40 odd, wasn't it? So
if you're expecting say Adil and Moeen to bowl 40, 45, maybe even 50 overs in a day between them, it's going to put a lot of pressure, Atif, isn't it, on Moeen to then come in and open the innings?
I guess so, but don't you kind of expect that of a modern cricketer? A modern cricketer should have the total fitness. A modern cricketer should be able to go out there, bowl 30, 40 overs, and then be able to bat for 3 days. And I'm sure if you spoke to Moeen Ali, he'd tell you that's exactly what he wants to do. It's going to be hard work, definitely going to be hard work if he's asked to do that job, which likely he is. But he should be up to it. He should most definitely be up to that job. It's so important that he take control. And hey, I mean, he's already done some extraordinary things, Moeen Ali. I think he observed Ramadan this summer whilst playing some of the cricket. That's extraordinary. I don't know how that many cricketers have done that before, not from any part of the world. So I don't think the physical strain is going to hit him too hard. Plus, he's only a young man still, isn't he?
Well, let's just talk about on a slightly different level. I mean, with so many spinners around, the wicket keeping position is going to be fairly crucial for England. We've had Jos Buttler throughout the summer.
He was terrible.
Well, not as a keeper particularly. I mean, his batting was awful.
No,
we can come back to that.
That was awful, and it was like no one noticed as well. It was really irritating.
Are you rolling your own there, Katie?
No, I don't smoke anymore. I suddenly realised that we've got visual aids on. We've got visual stuff on Guerilla for the first time in ages, so I can be funny. And this was actually what I was going to write because I think we've gone on too long.
Well, I was going to come back to that. We're nearly there. We haven't even had 20 minutes. I know you've got important things to go. You've got to go and see Have you got to go and see your second cousin's third aunt's godchild or something like that?
I've got my godmother and her husband, and they're an incredibly interesting family. Yeah, I've been invited there for the night, so I was going to go. Not that this discussion isn't really interesting, but it just happens that his uncle was J.B. Priestley, and his grandfather won a Nobel Prize for inventing vitamins, and he's distantly related to Jared Manley Hopkins, and I kind of want to go. Is that all right?
No, it isn't.
Okay, right. Come on, ask me a question instead of me having to do funny things to butt in that.
We know you're just an attention seeker, so we have to keep you under control, don't we? Really, this is the point.
I have to compensate through humour for not being asked serious questions because I'm a woman. Isn't that right, listeners?
No, it's not right. You've got a chip on your shoulder. In fact, you've got a chip on both shoulders, which is the only thing that keeps you balanced. Anyway, I was going to ask the bear and Atif because I can obviously only expect useful information from those two because they are male. This is the thing, and obviously because of that, because of their ownership of testicles, they have much more interesting things to say. Now, Joss Butler, of course it's a joke. Please, listeners, don't turn off. It's a joke. It's a joke. I like your globe. I love your globe.
I love the fact that you had to justify that, but anyway.
Well, yes, okay. I do think this is a serious question, though, because I've been looking at my sort of perfect England team.
Sorry,
my serious question is Butler or Bairstow, because I think it's important to put...
Bairstow.
I don't think Butler's kept particularly well to spinners or to Moeen when he has had to keep to him, or to Root, or even to Rashid when he's kept him in 1 days, which wasn't... There weren't so many of those that he played at the end of the series, were there? So, do you think is there room in England's team for both Bairstow and Butler? And if you were to ditch one of them, who would it be? Katie.
Well, I keep saying Bairstow. I'd never thought about whether there'd be room for both of them, though. That is
there has been. I mean, we played both of them in the fifth tests in the Ashes, but my feeling is now that with Jimmy Taylor in the equation,
I really like. Also, I liked him at captaining in county cricket as well this summer. I just think he's a stand-up guy, as they say. Yeah, I mean, and also who's very, very, you know how in press conferences, there's all this ridiculous stuff about looking as though that you're only focused on how the team does as a whole and not on individuals. Like, I think the most ridiculous one I saw was when David Willey congratulated, was it Mark Wood for getting central contracts, a few weeks ago, and he hasn't got one. And I was like, no human being alive would expect you to say that, David Willey. I mean, come on, right? So, when they asked Taylor how he was going to take his opportunity recently, he was like, yeah, I'm well up for it, and this is great, and I might not have got it. And I kind of like that. So, I'm not sure about Butler. I'm into Bairstow and Taylor.
Bear and Atif, Butler or Bairstow, or both?
For me, I wouldn't go. I prefer Jimmy Taylor to as the other batsman.
Yeah.
Whether you go with Butler or Bairstow, I don't think either of them are particularly good against spin standing up. Who's the better keeper? At the moment, you'd probably go on a run scored, and therefore you'd probably go Bairstow. Although he didn't really keep for Yorkshire this year either, did he?
Nope.
Was he keep?
Well, he had a fantastic year. I mean,
he had a fantastic year in terms of runs, but he wasn't actually keeping, was he? For Yorkshire?
That's a very good question. Let's ask the Republic of Yorkshire out there. I can't remember whether he was.
I think he was used as a batsman.
Was Andrew Hodd
on that note? Sorry, Hendo. Sorry, I know it's annoying, but I'll forget this otherwise. I don't know if any of you were listening to Midweek this morning on Radio 4, but Brian Blessed was on. And did you know that he was from Yorkshire, very, very humble background. I mean, some of his stories were incredibly moving about when his dad lost his job down the mines and he effectively had to beg because there was just absolutely no money. Anyway, his dad was absolutely passionate about cricket. He's Yorkshire born and bred. Don't you think, folks, and so I should try and get Brian Blessed?
Oh, God, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm going to. So, you see, it was worth butting in. And I will say again.
No, you can't, because I'm going to come back to you. I want one more question for Atif. As regards the Pakistan pace attack, who would you be going for? I mean, you've got I think 4 potential options, 3 of them left arm over the wicket. So who would be your choice?
Pick your left armour, I guess. I mean, initially, you always think Mohammad Irfan first, He's got the best kind of overall record. He was their kind of seam bowler of choice.
Sorry,
and
who did you say?
Mohammed Irfan, tall
He's not on the. He's not in the squad.
Is he not in the? That's what I
He's
mean.
not
So
in the
he's not
squad.
in the squad. He's there. He would be their kind of first go choice, but because of fitness matters, he's opened the door for all these other bowlers because he just can't physically get enough cricket in those games. He can't do enough to make himself valuable. So ultimately, you go for Wahab Riaz, who was so impressive in the World Cup.
Yeah, he was.
I think it was the last time everybody around the world got to see him. But he's come on a lot since then as well. He's improved his batting exponentially. He's going to be a great boon for Pakistan, especially he's one of those kind of inspirational, fiery kind of characters that you need when conditions can be so, kind of almost flat. Conditions don't really give you much. You can't really do anything. You need somebody with a bit of passion to come in and just bam down the next wicket and just run in and show some aggression, which is why Wahab Riaz is always my top choice. Junaid Khan has been hard done by, but he's had a few injuries at the wrong time, but he's always been very impressive. I'd like to see more of him, and of course my fourth favourite, Imran Khan. He's got to make the lineup as well, just so we can use that amazing jingle.
Well, got to have the jingle.
Sorry?
Go through the top three because I thought that he was your second favourite Imran Khan. This is I always need to monitor this. So who are the top three above that Imran Khan?
Okay, my favourite Imran Khan is the Imran Khan, ex-Pakistani cricketer, obviously, and future Prime Minister of the country. Number two on my all-time top three, Imran Khan of Amplifier and Imaginary Girl fame. So,
okay, but I'm really curious, who's the third one that comes before that Imran Khan, or this Imran Khan, or the one in the current Pakistan squad Imran Khan?
Okay, number three on my all-time top five Imran Khan list is the Bollywood actor Imran Khan. He's quite a nice Imran Khan too.
Okay.
Okay, well that's good to know. So, do you think it'll be Wahab Riaz with Imran Khan, Junaid Khan, or even Rahat Ali? And he's got a great jingle, hasn't he?
Have to sit this one out. I think those for me. I mean, I think the preference might be for Rahat Ali over Junaid Khan, but I'd like to see Junaid Khan get more of an. Again, he's one of those great. If you're going to have your spin bowlers doing most of the work anyway, which Pakistan almost undoubtedly will, it's good to have aggressive, fast bowlers that you can kind of juxtapose that attack with.
So, do you think they're only going to go with two seamers and two spinners?
Yeah, I think so. They might go with a third seamer. I doubt it. I think they'll try and reinforce their batting, especially in as the last tour that England had to the UAE. It was a very low-scoring series. I think Pakistan will remember that as well, and they'll be very keen to bolster their batting lineup as well. They'll have the likes of Misbah and Yunus Khan in the squad, but they'll want to try a few new faces. There's a few new all-rounders that have come into the team as well, and I know you guys know Shoaib Malik has been included in the test.
Yep.
So he can find a spinning option. He's a very decent bat, especially in those conditions. So you might see a bit of Shoaib Malik action in there as well.
Atif, who would he be likely to replace? I mean, I'm looking at my Pakistan team. I've got Shan Masood, Ahmed Shahzad, Azhar Ali, Yunus Khan, Misbah, Asad Shafiq. All have been batting extremely well.
Yeah.
Certainly in the UAE. Then you've got Sarfraz Ahmed possibly at 7. I just can't see where they're going to fit him in.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It depends on how much they value that third spinning option.
Yeah.
Or maybe they play one spinner and him as a bat. I don't see them doing that. Maybe they've given themselves the option of doing that. He might not even start for the first test. I think he's more of a backup option after they evaluate the results of the first test. They'll look and see how effective the two spinners were, the two seamers were, and the 7 batsmen. Do we want to throw an extra little spinny option in there that can also bat quite well in these conditions? I don't know. Time will tell.
Brilliant. Well, we should wrap up because Katie's got important work to do. She's got important places to be. She's going to meet all the royals and various other people. What I'm going to do this afternoon is I'm probably going to have to go and buy an iPhone. But there you go. That's apparently what you have to suffer if you're going to be a member of Guerilla Cricket in this new era. I should say before we go, we should get some predictions. And we'll get the straight prediction first. The straight prediction, a score over the 3-match series. Bear, what do you reckon?
I've gone 1-1.
1-1. Okay, Atif?
3-0 Pakistan.
Really, he is a confident man. Katie?
2-0 Pakistan.
2-0 Pakistan. Yeah, I was looking at this last night. I ended up going for 2 draws and a 1-0 to Pakistan. I think they're quite well-matched teams, but I just feel that Pakistan have got that experience and they've got an incredibly strong upper to middle order.
I don't think we know what kind of team England is at the moment, to be honest.
No, you're right.
ODIs and this summer with Australia, we'd know far more if they'd had a few more New Zealand tests.
Well, that's very true.
I don't know whether you saw the news this morning, but they're talking about the format, for women's cricket is in jeopardy. And I recently heard somewhere a rumour that they might drop the tests in women's international cricket, or certainly the Ashes, which I just think is atrocious. All of this dropping of tests left, right and centre.
Yeah, it's not right. It's all wrong. It's all wrong.
Well, not proper. And can I go now?
Well, no, not quite. You've got one more thing to do, lover of Dale. You have to give us an offbeat prediction for the series. My offbeat prediction is that by the end of the series, Joe Root will be England's leading wicket taker, but he will have only got 3 wickets. That's how difficult it's going to be to get Pakistan out, and I feel that perhaps Adil Rashid will realise that he isn't a leg spinner, and he will, like Scott Borthwick, end up batting at number 3. Atif, any particular offbeat prediction that you've got? I love your glasses, by the way.
Oh yeah, I need them for this particular prediction. Okay, so my prediction is by the end of the 3rd test in this series, either Moeen Ali or Adil Rashid will actually end up playing for Pakistan.
It's a good one. It's a good one. And the bear. What do you reckon, Bear?
I haven't got any offbeat predictions because I can't think of any.
Come on, Bear.
I need more time to think about it.
All right, well, let's go to Katie. Katie, what's your offbeat prediction?
Maybe Adil Rashid will be our top scorer, coming in at number 8.
Okay. Katie?
My offbeat prediction is, for those of you that don't know, Zulfikar Baba has a wonderful jingle, which is the
Poulenc!
If you like, from Poulenc, exactly. Poulenc's musical setting of Baba. And my offbeat prediction is that by the end of the series, I will have found a whole load of new fans for Poulenc.
Here's my offbeat prediction then. Zulfikar Baba will actually come onto the field on an elephant in the 3rd test.
There you go.
That's exactly what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Actually, just now you all disappeared. I was getting a bit worried. Did I disappear as well?
No.
Yeah, back to go again. I know. Yeah.
You're back at a different account, and you're back again. Don't worry.
Okay.
All systems.
All right. Well, I guess what we should say is, well, thanks very much. We've gone on a little bit longer than we intended to, but this is the first experimental Guerilla Cricket podcast brought to you by Google Hangouts in YouTube. That's where you'll be watching it, and we should say join us on Tuesday morning. After you've watched this, and this has obviously got your juices going, join us on Tuesday morning at about 6:45. We'll be on air. We'll be at Katie's flat. And in the meantime, if you've got any suggestions for what I might do with my ceiling, that they'll be gratefully received.
It's not being so tight. Just treat Sue to a new ceiling and get that. What's it called?
I don't know. Oh, Airtex.
Artex.
Artex. Sorry.
Artie's got a point, by the way. Hendo, are you a proper anchor or are you not?
So I can't see what you're saying there, Atif.
Kickstarter.
Okay, start. What does that mean?
Kickstarter. It's backwards.
Oh, Kickstarter, of course. Absolutely. That is the other thing I have. Thanks for that great reminder. That's brilliant stuff. Really off the cuff, out of the blue. We should also remind you that we are trying to raise funds, not only because we need to pay to keep going and have premises in which to do this wonderful job that we do, but we also need money to try and just make your listening experience all the better. We can do lots more fun things like the Google Hangouts, various things like that, and maybe
buy a used car from this gentleman. I so wouldn't. You got to look more authentic with your come on, give us your money stuff.
Come on, give us your money.
Yeah, we need more money because at the moment the website looks shocking. At the moment, I can't bear having these blokes because, I'll put it bluntly, they left a floater in my loo last time, and that's it. I'm not having them here.
Not Fred. I'd blame not Fred.
To rent a flat.
If anyone's going to leave a floater, it would be not Fred, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
I don't know who it was, but I don't actually need to know. I just know that you're out of my flat pretty darn soon, all of you fatties. But anyway, there's loads of stuff. We need money for guests. This isn't even paying ourselves. We need money to make the sound quality better. I mean, we're all of us doing this for nothing, and on nothing, and it's a nightmare. And it would be really, really cool if everyone gave us a $5. We'd be
Well, what you need to do that is to go to our Kickstarter campaign. It's called the Guerilla Cricket Winter Warmer. That's to keep us going for the UAE series and the South Africa series after after Christmas. And of course, if we get to the target, which is 3,500 initially, we will then try and stretch those goals to something about 5, 6, 7,000. The more we get in, the better it is.
Oh,
and
and
the better
there is one other thing, sorry, Hendo, that I should say, is that it's not like we're not trying to find external corporate sponsors. We are. This isn't like stealth packs where we're going to come to you with a begging bowl every couple of series. It's just tiding us over until we manage to prove to someone, that we are worth their spend. That's it.
Also, we should say that the rewards you'll get this time are absolutely second to none. There is a limited edition 50 wonderful bats made by Robert Pack Cricket in Northampton. He's made bats for the likes of Brendan McCullum and lots of others. He's worked with other big companies in the industry, and I would say get over there and get one. They're 275 quid. That's what you get. Some people have already given us more than 275 quid for them. What we do need to know, Bear, at some point is it based on a particular bat that he's already got, or is it going to be?
No, I was just about to say I am waiting for the arrival of the first Rob Pack Cricket bat that we are actually offering. And once it gets here, I will either film it or I might film it and photograph it, and so you can all see what it's going to actually look like. It's grade 1 willow, it's top quality willow, and he is a top quality bat maker, so it will be a good quality bat. I mean, I spoke to Robert the other day, and he said people were emailing him about our Kickstarter and what sort of bat was it going to be like, which is please, I mean, it's good for him. He's quite happy to get custom as well, but I mean, he's doing us a favour, and we're doing ourselves a favour. So please keep it to within us, and I will send you pictures so you can see what it looks like, and hopefully you'll all be happy with it.
And you'll be one of the few people to start next season with a bat branded Guerilla.
Exactly.
It's exciting. I mean, I might get one myself, even though I don't play anymore. But there you go. I think that's about it, isn't it, chaps? I think we've covered all bases. We should say goodbye to everybody, and hopefully, as I said, you will join us on Tuesday morning about 6:45 a.m.
See you then.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.